So, this is a poem called, oh yes, it's a delightful little ditty called Autopsy. You made the opening incision with almost clinical precision. Took the heart out, found it wanting. Took the top off the head, removed the mind. What exactly was it you expected to find? I looked at you with dead eyes that said, wouldn't have hurt half as much if you'd only waited till I was dead. Thank you. It was my daughter's third year to heaven. She was just getting used to being herself, and she was enjoying the company of her peers. And there was about 20 mad little 3-year-olds all running around like mad and going absolutely bananas altogether. And they went to another room and they were screeching the roof off. And after about 10 minutes, I thought, I have to go in there and stop it. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But as I got up and approached the door, it stopped. And there was this unearthly silence. And that scared me more. And just as I turned the knob of the door, they all burst into the room and they basically said this haiku to me. So this is Old Dog, New Tricks. The dog's in the loo! We was teaching him to pee! And he just fell in. Thank you. It has been St. Paddy's Day. I pay no attention whatsoever to St. Paddy's Day. People have to remind me that it was St. Paddy's Day. Or they ask me, like, Antosh, did I have a good one? What did I do? And I said, oh, was it St. Paddy's Day? Oh, all right. So it's strictly for the tourists. If you're in Chicago, they'll dye the river green. You'll have green Guinness and stuff like that. You go to Dublin, the river's already green. You don't have to dye it. Being Irish is a state of mind. And recently I had gone home and I'd gone to revisit my past, and my past no longer existed. Houses that had stood for 40 years were knocked down. I went to visit my own old house and I walked through empty space. And it was freaky. And the house where I grew up, and it was the first time I remember seeing snow, probably not the first time I'd seen snow, but I was 7 and I looked out the window and snow was falling outside for the first time. 1963 was a sort of Dickinson winter then. And that was the first time I'd seen snow. And I remember it so well. And I go back and the house is there and the snow is inside the house and I'm outside the house. So we reverse our positions. So I wrote a poem called Is It Yourself That's In It? Which is a very common Irish expression. A bit like, how you doing? You okay? All right? Yeah? All right. It's a bit like that. But when we Irish say, Dave, is it yourself that's in it? All right? We're saying, we're checking out that the man hasn't got possessed by the devil. We're checking out that it is indeed himself that is in it, this corporal body. And if the answer comes back, sure, of course I'm David. Sure, can't you see me, you bloody idiot? What the hell are you talking about at all? Then it's David. And then he'll get you to buy the pint. If it's the devil, a smoky, sulphuric voice will go, foolish earthling! And then you know it's the devil, all right? So, is it yourself that's in it? So I didn't know anymore. It's for my brother, good old Bud. Let me explain the terminology Bud in Irish. I had a very rude awakening. The people who tried to save Irish back in the day saved it by ramming it down our throat. We hated the bloody thing. Gagged, we puked it back up, and we didn't like it at all. But my little niece and nephew had a different experience. From little kids, they go to a Gael Scholar and they learn Irish. And they learn it very well. So by 2 or 3, they're better Irish speakers than me after a lifetime. Sad to say. And I say to my brother, he's called Brian, talks like that. And Brian is very non-committal. I'm all woo woo like that. And Brian is, how you doing, bud? You alright? You were in Egypt. What's Egypt like? What? I'm like, no, tell me more. So my little nephew hears me saying, how you doing, bud? You alright, bud? Okay, bud. Want a cup of tea, bud? Yeah, bud. You going out, bud? Yeah, I'll go with you, bud. Bud. As in, buddy, can you spare a dime? And my little nephew looked at me and he said, he thought about it, how to broach this between that old man and the 5-year-old niece and nephew, and he said, why do you keep calling Brian penis all the time? And I said, I am? And apparently the Irish for penis is bud. You think I knew that? I did not know that. So, now when I meet my brother, I go, hi. Anyway, get back to, is it yourself that's in it? How ya, said the tone that's in the stone, in a thick Irish accent. How's it going, said another stone to the left of the other one. So you decided to come home, sneered the passing breeze. Ah, leave him be, shushed the familiar tree. And an loud sod agreed, let bygones be bygones. There I was, thinking in French and gesticulating in Italian. Are you sure it's himself? Inquired a changing cloud. Sure, I'd know him anywhere, spoke up the road that led in and out of here. Ah, Jesus, he's crying. Sniffled an old gone-to-seed house. And then it started crying itself. This place grew me, sobbed my tears. And now, somehow, either it or I had changed. Only the ghosts of ghosts remained. Thank you. I've got two voices for the reason for writing this poem. One is Emily Dickinson, and the other is my mother. In Irish households, even if all the work was done, my mother would suddenly rouse herself and say, right, oh my God, 12 o'clock, and not a child in the house washed, oh my God, quick, quick, quick. And she gets up. My mother said, 12 o'clock and not a child in the house washed. The other thing is Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson got snubbed by Mr. Samuel Bowles, and he went off to Europe, and Sue and Lavinia and her were all sitting at the Immers, and they were waiting for Sam to come by and say bye, and he didn't come by. And they waited and they waited. When he came back later, she would not speak to him. And he would come to visit her, and she wouldn't come down the stairs. And after about a year of this, he got fed up and he shouted at the bottom of the stairs, come down the stairs immediately! I've travelled all this way to come and see you, you damned rascal! And Emily did indeed come down the stairs. The next letter she wrote to him, she signed it, your rascal. And she said, as you see, I've washed the adjective. So washing the adjectives, my mother's voice, you get a poem like this one. A poet's work. Oh my God, is that the time? 12 o'clock and not a poem in the house written. Quick, wash those adjectives. Quick, bathe those verbs. Feed those nouns. Have you adverbs gone back to bed? Come on, smile like a simile. No, don't wear the same metaphors you wore yesterday. And so with a little playful smack in his BTM, the poem is sent off into the world. See ya. Be good. A poet's work is never done. Now this is going to be highly embarrassing, because I'm going to have to sing to you. And the thing is, I can't sing. So singing to you is a sort of scary thing. I've lost it. That means I don't have to sing. How cool is that? Oh, shit, I found it. There's a lovely Irish song, every Corkman knows it, it's called Carrick Down. Carrick Down. It means the Brown Rock. There's a river mentioned in it called the Onabwee. The Onabwee is the Yellow River. Okay. And it's about a woman losing her love, and he's going off to the continent, and he doesn't come back, and he's gone to fight with the French and everything like that. Ah, God, this is hard. The heat was green and carried down, bright shone the sun over Ardnally. The dark green trees bent trembling down, that kissed the slumbering Onabwee. That happy day, 'twas but last May, 'tis like a dream to me. When Donald swore, Ior, we'd part no more, as Storm McCree. Okay, that song is important to me for two very good reasons. My uncle's farm down in Cork in Ballet, the field, this iconic field that I remember my sister in her blue dress at the centre of it, and I went to call her, and the field falls down to the Onabwee River. So you get a song with our field and the river in it. And you also get my name. As a little kid, I was amazed that I could be in a song. And Donald swore, Ior, he'd part no more, a Storm McCree. And I thought, how cool is that? So, and I always remember sitting in the field, and my head was in my sister's lap, and she used to sing that very softly to me. And the words, the last time I heard those words, before I sang them, very badly, was they were my sister's breath touching my my cheek, tossing my curls, and just stroking my hair and singing Don't Smoke. So that's the text that it actually got written down. So I wondered what would happen if the past came back to you. And this particular past. I'm sorry I messed it all up again. There we go. Alright, so this is called Welcome. There was a knock on the door. I opened it. The river stood there dripping all over the welcome mat. It had dragged along birds, trees, bits of sky, an old worn summer. Hi, it rippled. Remember me? Sure, I said. You said you would never forget me. How could I said. It grinned like that summer all over again. Come in, I said. It hung up the trees and sky on the hat rack. It sat in the bath talking of this and that. Wow, I thought, still listening to the river. Talk of all the times we'd spent together. Memory sure does play some funny tricks on the mind. Well, it said, I guess I better be going. It put back on the trees and the birds, wore the sky at a jaunty angle. You haven't changed a bit, I said, kissing it goodbye. You've got old, it smiled, so very, very old. I laughed. I'm not that little boy I was. It wished me well. The door closed. Its footsteps lost time. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Mr. Wood, the guy with the hat, to the stage. Mr. Stage, Mr. Wood. Mr. Wood, the stage. Milk of human kindness. The milk swooned over the spoon and swirled itself into the coffee cup. Her lips took a sip and found it still too hot. Leaving her coffee to cool, she undid her top two buttons of her blouse. The tiny hand held the breast in place as if to keep it from escaping. The nipple blindly tried to find the place in the baby's face where it could come to rest. Baby's mouth suddenly collided with the searching nipple. Bliss it breathed. Bliss breathed the breast. The room smiles as it swells to the curious sound of sucking. Undid her dress there and then, and when she had finished exposing herself, she shoves the baby onto the tit. He stops and spits. I was fit to bust. Freudian slip peeps out from behind the words spilling out of his mouth. His disgust spews, splits at the seams, bursts into sheer anger. Fucking whore. All this is hissed in a whisper, loud enough to seep into her consciousness. Her breast weeps milk into the now sleeping baby's mouth. Thank you.